It's been so long since I've been live on here. How are you? If you do not know me, my name is Naomi Jerez. I am a food and holistic health coach. I support high achieving women of color prevent and reverse disease, get control of their health, learn about their body, their mind, and build sustainable holistic health habits. Cool. So today, as you see on the pin, I want to talk about tools and the look of wellness, because it's something I've encountered a lot, not only in my wellness journey, but it's coming up for my clients as well. And I figured it would be something that will be super helpful for you, because it's these little things that trip us up in a health journey that I don't want to say are not of importance, because it is important, but there are these little roadblocks that need to be unlocked. I think that's the better way, so that you can keep participating in your holistic health journey and you don't think that something's wrong, you don't think that you're missing the point, that you don't know what's going on, or that you're failing. So the first one is tools, right? It kind of goes hand in hand. It's kind of like the chicken or the egg, like which one came first, because we believe that our wellness journey should have a certain look. And if it doesn't fit into that look, then we're not doing anything at all. We're not doing a good job, we're failing, or it's not right. Another part of it is the tools that you have. Sometimes the tools that you have, and it's kind of separate from the look, because you might assume that the tools that you have are what you need, right? That's one. When you finally get the tools that you have, then it's learning how to use those tools. So there are a lot of small different steps along the way that needs to be kept in mind. So for example, many of us have tools for health and wellness. You know, things like you shouldn't be, drinking a lot of sweetened beverages like sodas and juices or things like that. You should be moving your body. You should be sleeping. A lot of shoulds that add up to a lot of health, right? You should be eating well. You should be eating your fruits and vegetables. These are all tools that might help you in your health. But one, they might not be exactly the right tool for you to use. And two, you might not know how to use them. Okay? So it's not only having the tools, it's also learning how to use it in a way that works for you. And I think that this is where the habit building kind of breaks apart. Because you're like, oh yeah, I know that I should be eating fruits and vegetables. I know that I should be moving my body. I know that I should be getting more sleep. But if you are not aware of how to use those tools in a way that works for you, and you're like, oh, this person does it this way, this person meals preps that way, this person goes to the gym in this way, all of a sudden you go into wellness having a certain look and it not fitting for you and it not working. But that is not true. You just have not learned how to use your tools. Like, I have a drill in my closet. I have the tool. Do I know how to use it? Absolutely not. I can try. And in the way, I can probably hurt myself. I'll probably break something because nobody has taught me how to use this tool. I have not either someone has not taught me how to use this tool, or I have not taken the time to go through the manual, look up YouTube videos, practice a few times how to use this tool, trial and error until I get it. And that is a process, right? Where you have to learn how to do this. However, right, this is why I'm saying that Tools important, learning how to do it. Another thing is, what kind of tool do you have? If I have this drill in my closet, but what I really need is a hammer, and I don't know it because I know nothing about construction. I actually really don't know much about construction. So this is a perfect analogy for me. Then I'm really gonna ruin things because I'm trying to fix a problem that's meant for a hammer and I have a drill. Okay? So how does this apply to your health? This applies to your health because you might have tools from other people that are super trendy, and I'm not saying that these things don't have their own unique uses. Everything works, it's just how you use it. All your tools work, is just how you use it. So you might be doing intermittent fasting, and then you jump to keto, and then, oh my gosh, no, I need to jump to veganism. Like whatever it is, you're jumping from tool to tool, trying to see how to use it. And in the process, you're breaking your body apart, like your health apart, because you don't know if that's the appropriate tool for you, and you don't know how to use that tool for yourself. And because you've been conditioned that wellness has a certain look, your plate has to look a certain way, your exercise has to look a certain way, the way like your eating has to look a certain way, then all of a sudden is wrong and you're failing and you don't know how to take care of yourself and you don't know what you're doing. So if this is resonating with anybody, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know, because it's something that I don't think anybody realizes or talks about. Okay. There are many times where I have calls and the person's like, I know what to do. I know what to do. I've done this before. I know how I'm supposed to eat. I know how I'm supposed to exercise. This is what I've done before. I just don't do it. Or if I do it, I don't see the results. So aside from having the right set of tools, it's building the wellness in a way that makes sense for you and practicing it so that it does stick and it does work and you do get to see the results. Because we are often so focused on the outside and we assume that we know exactly how to use these tools. You basically have an IKEA instruction manual. If you have never seen an IKEA instruction manual, boy, man, like there are no words. There's barely any numbers. There's just some lines. You don't know which way to turn the paper. This is the kind of steps you have. And that's not something that, is really helpful. So you want to basically have a rule book that's specifically for you. And yes, these tools do apply to many people in general, but when it comes down to your personal being and yourself, then they might be tweaked a little bit. Okay. It's also something that we didn't learn that was passed down to us, because if you think about it, back in the day, information was passed down from one person to the other. The older generations would teach the newer generations how to do things, how to do these skills, farming, building, whatever it was. And now that really doesn't happen anymore. It's very rare that we're learning minute skills that have such a big impact in our lives. So what I would love for you is not to think that you don't know what to do for your wellness. I am sure you have all these little bubbles. Oh, I know I should be having more fruits and vegetables. I know that sleep is important. I know that stress management is important. But the issue comes when you try to integrate everything together and you don't know how, or everything seems very overwhelming and complicated because you haven't figured out how to do this, especially with all the other responsibilities that we have. Like if you're a parent, you need to figure out your kids' stuff. You need to figure out your financial stuff. You need to figure out stuff at work. So obviously, it's just really easy to just jump on quick solutions from what you see your friends doing, what has worked for you before, or not do anything at all and retreat from the situation because you're so intimidated and overwhelmed by it. And you assume that it's supposed to look a certain way, and then you stop. Taking care of your health is the last thing I would love for you to stop. I mean, always the choice is yours, but that's the one thing that should always be on top of your mind and seeing how you're going to figure this out. Because if you don't have your health, then you can't work on figuring anything else out because you're so tired, you're so overwhelmed and depleted. You don't have the mental capacity, you don't have the physical strength to do it. Cool. So I hope this clarifies a little bit about the tools that you have. First, getting the appropriate tools for yourself and for the job or the results that you want to get. And then another step is learning how to use those tools and how to use them long term and how to use them in different situations. Okay, that's also important because we can train ourselves really well how to use our health and wellness habits in our home environment, in what we do every day. But then when we switch and we're outside of that for a little bit of time, it gets a little shaky and we don't know how to do it anymore. So then that is another conversation of consistency and discipline. However, the first step is gathering the tools that work for you, learning how to use them, and then learning how to use them in all situations and not boxing yourself into what wellness is supposed to look like. Because that's what you've seen on movies and society. That's what the program that you bought taught you. None of that is really leaning into yourself, knowing what works for you with kind of science-backed information of if you're going to snack, these are the kinds of snacks that are aligned with your journey. If you're going to eat a meal, this is the way the meal's supposed to look so it can serve the need that you need it for. Okay, so everything has its purpose. When you learn how to choose your tools, for example, if you go to something like a Home Depot or a Lowe's, like a home improvement store, and they drop you in there, you're like, oh yeah, I know exactly what I need from here and where to find it. That's the kind of confidence I want you to have when you're thinking about your health and wellness. Because I know if they drop me in Home Depot, I'm like, the first thing I do is ask somebody for help because I do not have the time or the mental capacity to try and figure it out because that's not my thing. But this is how your body should be your thing. Your health and wellness should be your thing. You're the only one responsible for yourself and how you feel. You cannot put that on anybody else. You cannot put that on your partner. You cannot put that on your doctor. You cannot put that on your friends and family. It's your sole responsibility because it solely affects you. And then how you feel affects other people too. Like, at least for me, I want to feel my best self no matter what, no matter the circumstance that's happening. You have full control over that. And whatever effects come from it is just on you because it's your body. It doesn't affect anybody else. Okay? So let's start taking care of ourselves. Let's start identifying the appropriate tools that we need and redefine what a wellness journey looks for us individually so that we can see the results, we can stay on track, we can stay on this journey that doesn't really end. It just gets better, it just evolves, it just improves as our needs change because they will and they do. All right. If you need support identifying the tools that you need, if you need support learning how to use the tools that you need, and by tools, it can also be holistic health habits. If you need support identifying which holistic health habits you need to accomplish whatever health goals that you want, if you need support identifying the tools and redefining your health and wellness journey to live a lifestyle rooted in wellness while living your best life, because I do not believe in a boring life. It's actually quite part of the holistic journey to have joy in there. Then I want to invite you to book a consultation so that we can get this conversation started and we can start piecing all these pieces together. I'm great at puzzles. It's one of my favorite things to do, to identify and help support you identify these things for yourself and what works for you. It's not my plan. It's not what I do. It's not like follow steps 1, 2, 3. I mean, there is some of that, but essentially what I want you to get out of it is for you to get to know yourself, for you to get to know how you use these tools, how they work for you, and how to tap back into yourself to understand what it is that you need. Okay? So I invite you to book a consultation. The booking link is in my bio. I cannot wait to talk to you soon. Again, my name is Naomi Jerez, and I am a food and holistic health coach. I'll see you soon. Bye.